title with Ryder. Now to Friday, Sunday games to be played in Raleigh, North Carolina. The #2 seed in the Midwest, the Hoyas of Georgetown. They won the Big East regular season championship on the last day of the regular season, lost the Big East title game to the Pittsburgh Panthers. They will take on the Retrievers of the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, making their first ever NCAA Tournament appearance. The #7 seed in the Midwest, the Bulldogs of Gonzaga out of the WCC. They won the WCC regular season championship, and they'll take on the Davidson Wildcats, the 10th seed in the Midwest. They come into the tournament on a 22-game winning streak that is the longest in the nation. Thursday, Saturday games in
State. And how about Mayo v. Beasley in Omaha? Get your ticket now. And another very dangerous team at the bottom of the bracket is Davidson playing in Raleigh. I think they got a very good chance to make the Sweet 16.
Well, you look at that matchup, two heavyweights from non-power conferences, lower-profile conferences in Davidson and Gonzaga, two teams that I think are out. That's a terrific matchup. And then Georgetown with a comfortable draw as well.
I think there are a number of teams that'll testify to Davidson's ability this year. We remind you, CBS Sports and Facebook. If
spring break will be over, the Badgers could be awaiting them if they get past Cal Fullerton.
And another thing I want to say there, Jim, who is George Mason? And I realize they're in here, but I think Davidson is George Mason. I love their team with 22 straight wins.
Yeah, longest win streak in the country right now. Let's go to the other side in the South.
Assessment of the complete portfolio.
Is there anybody that you felt, though, however, going back, let's say in December, and here we are now in March getting ready for the tournament, anybody that really surprises you that they made the kind of stride they did to put themselves in this tournament?
No, but I can tell you one team, and you know I haven't done this and talked about any teams, but as you say, I like Davidson. I like the way that Bob McKillop coaches. I like the way that they play, and I love Stephen Curry.
Hey, this may sound a little esoteric to some, but Georgetown's going to Raleigh.
Same bracket. Georgetown, the #2 seed, despite losing in the Big East Championship to Pittsburgh. The Hoyas have a potentially dangerous matchup in the second round in Raleigh, North Carolina against Davidson. Plays right down the road. They're the 10 seed against Gonzaga, a 7, which is certainly battle-tested, plays everybody in the country every year, and has made major runs in the past. But if Davidson with Stephen Curry, the superstar guard, can get past the Zags, maybe they give Georgetown a run for their money to get into the Sweet 16. The super freshman matchup in the first round, you know the committee will like that one. O.J. Mayo and the USC Trojans against Michael Beasley and the...
I think a lot of people are looking forward to the matchup with Gonzaga and Davidson. Andy, is this the game the Wildcats finally break through?
Well, it could. I mean, they obviously gave Maryland a good game a year ago, but first of all, the committee does not protect teams beyond the top 4 lines. So the fact that Davidson's playing in the state in Raleigh was not done on purpose. It just happened to be the way it fell. That's according to the committee. Now, Gonzaga, I think the key for Gonzaga is this. If Josh Heitfeld and Micah Downs can score, because they are scorers, then they become matchup problems for Davidson. But they've been terribly inconsistent this season. And that, I think, has been a problem for Gonzaga, being able to sort of take that next step. They certainly have as much offense on that team with Austin Day, the two guys I just mentioned, and Jeremy Pargo, and David Pendergraft, and, of course, Matt Bolden, to beat Davidson. The problem is, can they all play well at the same time? I think you could argue that this is the most balanced offensive team that Mark Few has had in years, maybe more so than the Adam Morrison years, but they have not been able to be as consistent as a group on a game-to-game basis. They certainly have more firepower than Davidson. We'll have to see if it plays out that way.
And finally,